Welcome, welcome everybody to Nine's Corner. As you can see, it is lightly snowing here in Alberta. So I'm going to change my video just slightly so I can explain why I said, will Donald Trump remain president? Dreams have always been very important to me. It's been with me since I was a little kid. I talked in my sleep all the time. My brothers and sisters would make fun of me. Luckily, I spoke mostly gibberish, but they said it'd be nothing for all of a sudden just hear the scream coming out of the room, and that was me. And my mom even said that she had found me one time sitting up and, nodding yes to whomever I was speaking with. So dreams have always been a way that I could figure out how things were going in my life, or if I had a problem, I would literally think about it before I went to sleep and use my dreams to answer that. So when my mom, about a week or a couple of weeks before my mom passed away, I had had a dream that my sister had come to the salon. I was working as a hairdresser at the time, and said mom was sick. And I was like, okay, I got to drop everything and go to Newfoundland. I told mom about this awful dream that I had, and she was like, oh, Nani, don't be so foolish. And, what else is she going to say? So a couple of weeks later, I was at the salon. It's December 20th, so it's Christmas time. Everybody's really crazy and excited. And every customer I was saying, my mom's coming in February. My Christmas is going to be in February. I'm going to keep my Christmas tree up until February. And Luigi, my boss at the time, said, come here, Nine, and asked me to go in the back room. And I'm looking at all my clients saying, I can't. And then next thing I know, a bunch of the hairdressers came and kind of took over the clients I had, and they brought me to the back room, and I found out my mom had passed. And it was very similar to the dream that I had had. So oftentimes if I have dreams that I think, not prophetic, but almost kind of giving me a heads up, I take notice to them. So last night I'm going to bed and I'm thinking to myself, okay, I will do a reading on the people that are going to be voting, what's going to be their energies flowing in to the election over the next 9 months or so. So I'm on my way to sleep. I've kind of got one foot in reality and one foot in sleep world. And just as I was about to dive in, I had this like sick feeling just kind of like hit me in my stomach. And I thought, oh my God, Italy is shut down. We don't know how long this containment's going to take. It's going to take several weeks, but it's going to peak, and we don't know what the reaction, like we have an idea because of China and Italy and everything else that it's going to have a crescendo effect, but it's how we react to it that's really going to say how good or bad it's going to be affecting us. So in my mind, I thought, my goodness, if they're doing all these closing down, if Trump and their administration all of a sudden get their head around it going, hey, maybe we could use this pandemic to stay in power. Do you know what I mean? Like, he could say, listen, because of what we've been going through, and we really don't know if it's gonna come back, and we really gotta, keep things status quo. I think it's important for me to stay in power. It's like a sick kind of like, and if you're for Trump, I guess it's like a, But I thought, okay, before I start the reading and look at the people who are going to be voting, I thought, let's just have a quick look at that thought of Trump trying to use this pandemic to stay in power, because let's face it, guys, he's willing to do anything, truly. So let's have a look. Sorry I took so long. I try to get to my readings as quickly as possible without wasting anybody's time, because I do appreciate the time that you take to come and visit here. So let's just have a quick look. I'm going to do like a little 5-card vision to see where is Trump. So we're starting off with the Moon card. So for sure, they are behind the scenes trying to figure out how to get through this, because there is so much secrets, and it is going to come to light but it's going to come to light slowly and it's going to take time. And Trump is aware of this. Five of Wands. There's going to be infighting. People are trying to figure out how do we get ourselves out of it, because there are just so many explosions just waiting to erupt. And whatever they're thinking about is going to cause division. Six of Pentacles. He is going to be throwing money at the situation. He is going to make sure that he is touting, we're doing our best. He does not care about these people. He does not care if they get the coronavirus. He's just going to ensure that the people who are of importance to him, reputation, money, they're the ones that are going to be taken care of, and the people are going to be left to their own devices. God willing, they have good local people to take care of them. The Lovers. This is a huge decision. The result of that decision will affect the future. This is not something that you make a quick decision and it might affect you for a week or for a minute. This is something that could affect the long-term future. So, looking at these cards. Three of Wands, Three of Wands. I think Trump and his administration are looking to Putin and what Putin is currently doing. And I think they are looking at if this is a viable avenue, but they know there's going to be major kickback, and this could start a major disturbance in the US. This is not what they need. They need to come together. They don't need more things to divide them. Okay, my lovies, let's have a look and we'll see what's going to be the energy flow going towards the election from the people that are going to be able to vote. I'll do a 9 square. 9 square. I'm so pathetic. I'll do a 9 square because we're literally 9 months out from the election, and we'll have a look and see what each month could bring, more or less. So we're currently in March, so we have the Magician. So this is going to be Trump and all his lackeys trying to do everything. They are just going to be throwing wet tissue paper at the wall and trying to figure out what's going to stick. It is going to be a time of a lot of mass consciousness manifesting what they're thinking about. So if you've got a lot of people that are scared and in panic, they're going to manifest more scare and panic and more pandemic spread. We need a voice of reason to come and calm people down right now. April is the Five of Pentacles. So guys, in April, we are going to see the loss. And it's going to be difficult because you have to understand that everybody keeps saying, like, what's the big deal? What's the big deal? The big deal is that the numbers of people that would need health care and need hospital care and have respirators is going to overwhelm the system. And therefore, you're going to have people dying of things that they probably could have gotten help for, but they couldn't. So April is going to be the month where we're going to see maybe some of true numbers, because I think in March we're going to be kept in a fog. May, Page of Pentacles. So May, you're going to be hearing a lot of news about the breakdown of how things have unfolded to this point. There is probably going to be by this time some recovery with the economy and with the stock market, because I think at this point we're 3 months in and things are able to go back to a new normal. March, April, May. Let's look at June. June is going to be a time of people having to look and see whatever it is that their investments be, whether it be financial or political or with their family or with their home, house, their finances. People are going to have to really stop, take a review, and see how the effect has happened to them and to the economy and to the world wide. So July we have the Six of Wands, so I think there's probably going to be a lot of political upheaval at that point. Trump is going to be touting himself, and Six of Wands, I think you're going to get a lot of people coming out, and I don't believe this is just for Trump. I think with the better weather and with some clarity about the pandemic and maybe some relief at this point with just the pandemic and the economy, that people are going to come out and they're going to start voicing, they're going to start marching, they're going to start picking sides. So we got March, April, May, June, July. So we're now in August. August, we have the Wheel of Fortune. This is a time when people are really going to start getting into what is happening, where do their votes lie, what can they expect. It's almost like for the Republicans, it's so hard to choose to make a different decision other than go with the Republican candidate, and that's going to be Trump. This is going to be a major time of cycling for the US. This is going to be a time where you're going to see some upheaval. And August, September, October, those months leading into the election, this is a time when the US would be most vulnerable. And believe me, I'm going to be doing a reading about Putin, and I've looked at his numerology. And next year, he's got a really good, he's having a good year this year, even with the pandemic and stuff. He's going to have a really good good year next year, because it's his structure year. And I'm worried about his influence. I really am. We're looking at the King of Cups. For September, people are going to be looking at and getting more serious about which side they are on. And it's not going to be wishy-washy. It's going to be, I'm red and I'm blue, and it's going to have a lot of influence from higher-ups, from Trump, from the administration, from the other side. It's going to be a lot. It's going to be because the Wheel of Fortune is coming, and that's just going to be a time where some people are going to be enlightened and say, hey, look, we need healthcare, we need this help, and they're going to feel really passionate about it. And then you're going to have the forever Trumpers who are going to be really passionate about their view. So September, we have the Four of Pentacles. So I think September, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. This is October. This is right before the election. So in October, I think by that point, people who feel blue will hold on to feeling blue. Those who feel red are going to hold on to red. But I also think this is Trump taking his stab at trying to increase his years of being president, because I don't know enough to be able to know, but I'm just thinking, like, if we were in wartime, they would have the right to say, look, we're not going to have an election because we're in the middle of wartime. Is that possible that they could do the same thing through a pandemic? Can Trump and his administration take this and roll it out to be something that would keep them in power, so that they could try to keep doing what they're doing and get rid of information and try to manipulate? November, so we've got the Two of Wands. Not much help. The cards aren't ready to show which way we're going, because I think there's a lot of stuff that needs to happen between now and then, and it's going to really be up to the people how they're going to choose. Are they going to let this pandemic help them reach out to the world and reach out to their fellow person and come from a place of love, or are they going to shut down and say close the borders and become even more right wing leaning? And how are they going to, how are the people going to navigate when there's so much misinformation and there's going to be so much coming up? It's a lot, guys. I want to try to see if we can clarify this card, because it's not really giving us a lot and I don't expect it to. Strength. We as the world are going to need strength to get through all the life events, because it's secular. We're always going to have something coming up, There's always going to be events that can either draw us together or separate us even more. The Hierophant. The Hierophant. Rules, traditions. I'm fearful that Trump is going to try to use this as a way to stay in power. I fear that this has now opened up a new possibility, and it's going to go against, it's going to be bringing the two fractions of the government to come and, oi, oi, oi. Two of Cups. There's got to be a meeting of the minds. There has to be a decision. There's just too much that has to happen before we come to the election. And it's a time of enlightenment. It's a time of realizing that the old ways no longer work for us. It's like what happened in the early 1900s with the Industrial Revolution, the way they lived their lives, and the way they use sanitary